I'm Kerry Rosenberry, and I'm just a personal hobbyist.
Okay. You said you showed be speaking on behalf of the Houstin Reptile Organization.
Yeah, we have a small organization in Houston of other hobbyists.
Are you authorized to speak?
Yes.
On that group? And that's what you want to remain to be shown?
Yes, sir.
So the record. Thank you. Proceed.
I'll try and keep my comments short as possible. There's a lot of these speakers, and I know it's getting late. But just a couple of things that I wanted to point out. And you'll excuse me if these seem kind of unrelated points, but as again, I'm trying to make it brief. One of the things that I'm sure everybody can agree on is the fact that our political system and your positions are very dependent on public opinion and how good they feel. And I think it's very tempting and very easy to pass feel-good laws rather than do-good laws. There are a lot of laws on the books that were passed just because people were concerned. And so there's a law passed, and it didn't really affect anything. Nothing really came of it. Nothing happened, but it made people feel good. This seems like an awful feel-good law. There's aphidophobia, which is fear of snakes, is one of the most common phobias that people suffer. You rank them according to the numbers of people that suffer from different types of phobias. Aphidophobia, which is fear of snakes, is very high up there. So, of course, the more people are afraid of snakes, the more anything that controls snakes, the happier they are. But as other people have stated before me, there really isn't a problem. There aren't reports of snake attacks. Snakes don't attack. If a snake is given an opportunity to flee and hide or attack, they'll always flee and hide. Snake bites in the wild are because you almost stepped on them, or because they're cornered and they feel threatened. Again, this is reiterating, but dogs, horses, lots of animals out there will attack. They will physically pursue you and want to harm you. Snakes don't do that. So, I think it's important to keep that in mind. If we're going to pass laws based on making people feel good and just addressing their phobias, then we need to ground airplanes. We need to dock ships. We need to build nothing but first-floor, one-story buildings. We can't just pass laws just to make people feel good and address their phobias, because it doesn't address a problem. It just addresses a fear.
You raise an interesting question. With me, and it's been mentioned more than once about how horses and dogs that cause more death, deer, more death than snakes. And they mentioned that 5 to 10, there's 5 to 10 venomous snake deaths in the United States, I believe was the statement. Do you have any data to show that how many of those were attacks from the wild and how many were from captive venomous snakes?
I don't have those numbers here because a lot of what we tried to discuss and try to make sure we didn't do was constantly reiterating somebody else's things that they stated. Those figures are easy to come up with, and if that's something that would help you guys to make a better decision, I'm sure that people will be happy to present that. It's easy to demonstrate, but that's something that almost never happens. One of the problems with this law, people feeling like passage of any sort of a permit system like this is going to make people safer and more careful. Most of your people that keep venomous snakes have, again, like they said, protocols. There are certain things you do and that you don't do, and things that you are prepared. I have venomous snakes. We call them hot snakes in the hobby. I have hot snakes, and for each of my hot snakes, I've got a protocol sheet that tells what to do in the event of an emergency. We have certain rules that we abide by in my household when we care for these animals, when we have to clean a water dish, anything like that. There are certain procedures that take place. All the cages have locks. You don't even open a lock unless there's somebody else at the house in case there's an incident. I've dealt with venomous snakes since before I was a legal adult. I actually used to capture snakes in Florida and sell them to Ross Allen. I don't know if you recognize that name. His son Tom Allen was on Wild Kingdom for a long time. He was the one that wrestled the anaconda while Harlan Perkins catch. Anyways, he used to take his snakes out there because he actually did milk them and sell the venom for use to make anti-venom. And so I've been dealing with them from the time, like I said before, I was a legal adult. I'm 44 years old now. I've never been bitten. I've never been envenomated because I'm very, very careful. The people that are going to be that way are going to go ahead and find the permit because they do what they're supposed to do. They understand following the rules. But there are people out there that don't follow the rules. And the people that don't follow the rules aren't going to. So this isn't going to protect them either. They're just going to make them bigger criminals.
So then would it be safe to say that from your standpoint, as a comparison, that the people, the snake handlers that would buy a permit are the legitimate above board and those, and as a comparison, it's effective to the state of Houston. If you outlaw guns in Texas, only the outlaws will have the guns.
Yeah, pretty much the vast majority. I mean, again, I wouldn't have percentages because you'd have to sit down and poll these people. This isn't something that it could be gathered, but I don't know where I've seen it. But the vast majority of people that would see the venomous snake understand these protocols and are careful. It's not anything that the state or any system has to thrust upon them. They understand that it's important.